Hi, this is Digital Femme, and welcome to OVRland, the YouTube channel that focuses on the OVR.AI platform and its community. So subscribe to this channel if you are curious or interested about platform developments, the people that own OVRlands, otherwise known as hexagons or hexes, what they are doing with these lands, and in particular, why would you even want to join OVR? So before we get started, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when a new video is uploaded. Okay, so let's get started. In this video, I am going to address the question, what happens when OVR.AI is not the only spatial web platform? I had asked that question myself when I first heard about that OVR.AI, and it almost seemed like a barrier for me to actually join the community and the platform, and then I had to really think. And then I realized, as with all technology, everything really has a pattern. And what that pattern is, just because you're first to market doesn't mean you'll always stay first. And we've seen that time and time again in terms of brands. There was Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola was like the drink, I guess, of the, 50s or 60s. And then Pepsi came along, and then 7-Up came along, and they marketed themselves as the Uncola. Well, you get what I mean. There's always going to be competition. And especially with technology nowadays, there are different ways to use what is available. Now, let's get back to the question. For sure, OVR.AI will not be the only spatial web platform. Is that going to present a problem for anybody that has invested in hexagons, hexes, or overlands? No, not really, and this is why. Okay, so you are viewing this through some kind of device. It's either a mobile phone, an iPad, or a desktop computer or a laptop. So think about it. You are viewing the same content, and yet with different devices. You know what? That might not be the right analogy. Let me backtrack. Okay, let's talk about browsers. Okay, let's not, because that's pretty much the same analogy. Basically, what I'm getting at is, okay, this is what I'm getting at. For sure, there will be other spatial web platforms out there. So then what are we going to do? It's almost like choosing mobile providers. Some of you in the United States might have T-Mobile or Sprint or Virgin Mobile. Here in Canada, there is TELUS, Rogers, Fido. So why do you choose one mobile provider over the other? It could be price. It could be data and speed. It could be the user experience, customer service. You get what I mean. So even though OVR.AI will not be the only spatial web platform, it doesn't mean that they won't be the best. Okay, so what constitutes the best? Off the top of my head, I'm going to have to say content. If there are hexagons with amazing content of all kinds, and there are corporations and brands supporting the content on the OVR.AI platform, then naturally people are going to want to gravitate and be part of that. I would call it community. Take a case in point. I know that back when Twitter had started out, the community was really a group of early adopters. There weren't really any marketers as much, and if they were, you couldn't really tell because nobody was really marketing anything. It was just a community at first that relished in the idea that you can connect with anybody globally just by using 140 characters and sending it out as a tweet. And everything was fine until Ashton Kutcher, an American actor turned tech venture capitalist, got on a talk show, and I can't remember what talk show that was. So they were talking about Twitter, and they were actually making fun of Twitter. But what happened that night was he did a competition, and he said, you know what, let's get on Twitter, and I'm paraphrasing. So he said, you know what, let's get on Twitter, and whoever has the first 1 million followers wins. Well, of course, that show was on national television in the United States and Canada and whatever parts of the world. And people who heard that, they jumped on Twitter and just got an account just for the sheer fact that Ashton Kutcher was on Twitter. And then the whole army of celebrities followed, and musicians and everybody else, and then the marketers. And then now pretty much Twitter is what it is today. A shitstorm of tweets that complain, polarize. I'm not even going to go there. But inside Twitter, there are golden nuggets of conversations that are genuine, authentic, and really valuable. You just have to really go through the shitstorm. So how does this relate to OVR.AI? Easy. Once a celebrity, a musician, an entertainer, somebody huge, let's say Elon Musk. I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure Elon Musk can pretty much create his own spatial web. Please, Elon, or anybody in Elon's team, if you're listening, just hold off on it. Just go ahead and concentrate on your SpaceX and let OVR.AI do its thing. Okay, so let's say someone like Elon Musk came onto OVR and did a collaboration or bought up a whole bunch of hexagons and created AR experiences. Well, then sure enough, all of Elon's followers, or a majority of them, would actually get an account with OVR.AI and not necessarily bid on hexagons to own it. They would just be there so that they could actually experience the content that Elon Musk and his team is creating on their hexagons. So let's go back to the question. I'm sorry if I'm going round and round and round and round. We really have nothing to worry about because first of all, this technology, although not really new, the foundation isn't new, but the applications of it are. So I believe that OVR.AI, they are really mapping a whole new roadmap and integration for what will become how we experience the future. The key thing here is if there are more than one spatial web platforms, and there will be, and I don't know when that's going to happen, and there is a few right now, and I'm not going to mention their names because this is an OVR.AI focused YouTube channel. But the key thing is interoperability. So each of these spatial web platforms, let's call them metaverses. Now, if each metaverse or platform, if people were able to seamlessly move from one platform to the other or access one platform to the other, that would be key. I really feel that would be key. I hope that works. Interoperability is something that we've all wanted, especially with games. And I feel like with the technology that we have right now, there has to be a number of teams working to make things interoperable. I think that's really going to need to happen. And in order for that to happen, I'm not a developer, I'm not a coder. It just makes common sense to me that if everybody just kind of like used the same programming language and used the same standards, then maybe there would be an opportunity for interoperability. Now, I hope I answered that question, and I hope I didn't worry anybody even more. So this video was really meant to address that question. What happens when OVR.AI is not the only spatial web platform? It's no big deal. Because you know what? Google is not the only search engine. But is it the best search engine? Yeah, for now. So Firefox is not the only browser. I don't even use Firefox. I use Chrome. And yet I have a Mac that comes with Safari installed, a native browser to the operating system. I don't even like Safari. So basically, it's a choice we make. And it should be okay. Now, what is that going to mean for brands? Does that mean like a brand like Nike is going to have to also have a presence on OVR.AI or the next upcoming spatial web? If I were Nike, yeah, because you would want as much as possible for your products, your services, and your brand to reach as many customers or potential customers as it can and engage with them wherever they are. So with that said, if there is a community of sports enthusiasts and athletes on the OVR.AI platform, if I was a Nike brand, I would want to have a presence there. Meaning I would want to own hexagons on OVR.AI and create augmented reality experiences for potential clients. In addition to, I would also want to create augmented reality experiences on all the other platforms. And this is why interoperability is so important. Because imagine, you could just take one AR content or program and deploy it to all the other spatial web platforms. And whoever invents that, I don't know what it's called, that technology, that application is going to make a lot of money. So if you're hearing this and you have a team or your brain works that way, then go ahead and start inventing that interoperability application. But you know what? You're going to be very, very challenged. You know why? Because everybody's going to get their act together. There's got to be a governance of some kind moving forward. I just realized something right now. Up until this day, language has been fragmented. I mean, I understand. I respect people from different countries and they have their own dialect, they have their own languages, but it's really hard to communicate. What happens is you get someone that learns all these different languages so they can communicate with different people in other countries. And I know that with technology now and AI, artificial intelligence, that might not be an issue anymore. Because I'm pretty sure there are devices or applications where if I were to speak in English and the AI module or software would recognize that that person I'm speaking to is Italian, then my English would automatically be translated through the AI application to Italian and vice versa in any language. That would just be wonderful. And if that exists, and I'm pretty sure it does, then that type of spatial audio or that type of audio AI application would really need to be integrated into the spatial web or OVR.AI or any other spatial web to make it easier for us to communicate. Now, wouldn't that be a wonderful world where truly we are connected? So you've always heard the saying that we are part of the greater consciousness and we're all connected. So these metaverses, these spatial web platforms, it's almost like it's moving us towards that. And incidentally, I've actually written a blog way back in 2006 about metaverses. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a link in the description below to that blog. So if you're interested in hearing my thoughts on metaverses and consciousness, then it's a really good read. Anyway, I'm going to end right here. I hope you took something away from this video, and I want to thank you for staying till the end and watching this YouTube channel. Go ahead and like this video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you get updated when a new video pops up. So in my next video, I'm going to go ahead and address the elephant in the room, or the elephant in the augmented reality room, and that is pornography. I'm going to talk about the use cases for pornography in augmented reality and on a spatial web. And it's not what you think. So you're going to have to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get to find out when that video uploads. Okay, so wherever you are in this world, have a great day, have a great evening, and see you next time. Bye.